Well guys, looks like I might have been stung. No, it's back. Welcome back to Chop's Garage everyone. You can see the i20 is gone. That's down at Phil's having its MOT, Phil at Moore's in South Molton having the MOT done. So we can hopefully get that done and dusted and out to the lady. So big thanks to Phil on getting onto that one straight away. Just a quick thing, thanks to everyone for all the kind words about the loss of my dog. Really do appreciate it. I'm not going to get back and be able to thank everybody in the comments. But yeah, much appreciated all the kind words on that. Yes, so anyway, onwards and upwards. The i20 is down for the MOT, so we should be able to get it back to the lady soon. What else have we got? Phil's also bought back the Twingo. He sorted out the noisy belt on the Twingo. Apparently the pulley, or the what do you want to call it, the guide for the belt was all rusty, so he's cleaned all that up, put it all back together again, cleaned the belt up, and it's not making any sound anymore. So I can get that cleaned up, photographed and ready for sale. Changed his wheel trims out. Still need to photograph these two to get them up properly for sale. I've been held up, not being able to get that done. And the Twingo is in the space where the 500 was, because the 500 is just sold, and I've just taken this in part exchange against it. So this is a 2012 62 plate Passat estate with the 2 litre diesel in it. It's got the DSG gearbox on it. Must be high, I don't know much about VWs, but must be decent spec. It's got some big old alloys on it. It's got parking sensors. Everything's colour coded in this nice grey. There's front and rear parking sensors, great big alloys. With how big are these tyres? These are big tyres. They are, I can't quite see on that one, probably right in front of me. Oh, 235 18s, and they're new all the way around. They are nice rubber. New tyres all around. They're branded as well, I think. What brand are they, or are they not? No, I don't think they're a particular brand. Actually looking at it, I thought they were initially, but I don't think they are. But anyway, they're new tyres all round on it. This thing's got a full service history, all fully stamped up, including a big recent service, which was the cam belt, water pump, and it had a gearbox service as well. Interior wise, nice sporty seats that all need a really good clean. But we've got sat nav with Bluetooth auxiliary input, obviously the DSG gearbox with the manual override on it as well. You've got the steering wheel controls on it. It's very nicely specced out. Got cruise control, really nicely specced out in here. Now the gentleman that part exchanged his car against the Fiat 500 was getting it for his daughter, who was running around this but finding it too big and too expensive to run. Especially in London. I think she was going to be hit by those charges again, like a few other people have, and the road tax is quite high. So I wanted to get into a cheaper car. So part exchange this in against the Fiat 500. Has done 160,000 miles, which is obviously too many miles for me really to retail the car. So I'll have to auction it, I think, because again, like, I can't put a warranty on something with 162,000 miles on it, as reliable as these may well be. I've taken it for a little spin down the road and back. All seem to be okay. She takes it on good long runs, so DPF shouldn't be a problem, but we don't know for sure. I haven't got the equipment to plug it in and check. It's got a proper tow bar on it. Apparently I took great lengths to tell me it was all wired in with Volkswagen wiring loom. We've got a free diesel tank. Nice. Yeah, so it's a big old girl. Plenty of room, lots of toys. Float someone's boat for sure. Yeah, 2 litre TDI Blue Motion. I say I did a little run down the road and back in her. It all seemed to go well. Went like a rocket. That seems a nice car. Not sure what its real value is going to be at auction. I've given 2,200 in part exchange for it. I was only going to give 2,000, but the chap is a friend of a friend. Put them on to me and wanted to get some alloys for the 500 because it's a pop. So I gave him a couple more £100 on top, and I think I should be alright on that. I'd have thought. I think the book for it was about 2.4, 2.6, but with this miles on, I think you need to throw the book away, to be honest. That's just an automatic calculation on mileage, and I don't know if it actually relates to the real world, although I have seen them with this kind of mileage on being sold for £4,000, so not really sure. Anyway, I'll probably drive this home back tonight and get a good run in it and see where we are. Well guys, looks like I might have been stung. I've just gone to move the car. I went to move it, turned it off quickly, then turned it on quickly again. I have moved it a couple of times since, and then this noise suddenly appeared. And from my experience with the Volkswagen, that tells me that might be the dual mass flywheel. Unless there's something else that I can have disturbed, turning the car off and turning it back on again quickly. Because it certainly wasn't making this noise when I moved it the first 2 times and when I test drove it. And there was quite a gap between when I test drove and when I moved it. And normally these, I know they quieten down when they get warm. Definitely sounds like it's down there to me. I'm going to say that's dual mass flywheel, unless there's something else rotational that I could have upset turning the car off and back on again very quickly. But the weird thing is, do the dual mass flywheels, can they give up like instantaneously like that? Because it definitely wasn't making this noise when I test drove it, and it definitely wasn't making this noise when I moved it the first 2 times. So, and they can't have hoped to think that I was not going to hear that, because there's no way of hiding it. It wasn't making that noise when I first got the car here. So either I've been done, or I've been incredibly unlucky and it's gone on me like instantaneously. I thought they gradually did it, but can they give way just like that? I don't know, comment down below, tell me, can they just give way at a moment's notice? But that means this will definitely be an auction, probably Copart through the mechanical section, and then just to hope that I can get my money back. Unless I do the dual mass, it might be worth doing it. I could have this as a hack for myself, but I'm going to be in a good few £100 doing a dual mass. I haven't got a lift here, so I'm going to have to farm that out, and that could cost me a bit. So I don't know, the people just seem so genuine. I find it hard to believe that they did stiff me over, but I guess it is a possible one. Yeah, so not such a great deal now. Luckily I didn't pay what book said for it, so I've got a bit of a chance with it. Again, I just find it hard to believe they stiffed me over, but then dealers are considered fair game, aren't they? So I'm in the Passat. I drove it home last night. I know if you've got a suspected DMF, you shouldn't really drive it too much, but I drove it home last night just to double check it, and by the time I got home there was no noise at all. I started this morning from cold and there's no noise, which is weird because in my experience the dual mass flywheels are normally at their worst when they're cold. When they get warm they tend to take up a bit of tolerance, so it's a strange one. It also makes me think it's entirely possible the person didn't realise that it was a permanent problem. They thought maybe they heard it as one-off. I don't know. I like to think the best of people, and they were absolutely lovely, so I'm thinking possibly they just weren't aware of it. They weren't mechanically minded, and they weren't aware of it because, like I say, this morning there is no noise there. There was no noise last night. It was only when I went to move it into the unit yesterday that I got the noise. So I don't know, I think I'll have to report back, start it when I get back to the unit. I'll leave it for a bit, start it up again and see what it does, but whichever way I sell it, it'll be sold as potentially having a dual mass flywheel problem, as is. I think I just don't have time to fix it, and I don't see really that I'm going to get any more margin out of it by repairing it, because I can't sell it. My warranty company won't cover a car with 160,000 miles on it, so I can't sell it retail anyway, so I can't get the top money for it. And the difference between fixing it and selling it as is, I think I can get 2.5 for it as is, and fixing it's probably 3.5, but it's going to cost me probably £600, £700 to do it. So I just don't think there's the big enough gap to make it worthwhile my time, especially when I want December to be a bit of a relaxed month without too much going on. I want the money back in the bank now, really. No, it's back. Listen to that. Definitely this gearbox side of the car. Definitely about there. I'm going to say I'm 99% sure that's a DMF, dual mass flywheel DMF. Which is a real shame because the car drives absolutely fantastically other than that. And it's kind of the last thing it needs doing, isn't it, for it to do another 100,000 miles, because it's had its belts done. It's had all the work done on it, all the big work. It's had a gearbox service, it's had the cam belt water pump done. So really the dual mass flywheel was the last thing that needed doing for this car to carry on to do another load of mega miles. But like I said, I don't think it's for me to fix it. It's going to get out the door as is. It is somewhat hard for me to believe that it was my bad luck that it happened the minute I took it in part exchange. Again, the people seem genuine. They want to drop back a load of receipts they've got for the car later on, they were saying. So it's a really hard one, but it's hard for me to believe that that has only just started happening for me. So yeah, I mean, this is the thing with it, guys, as well, is while we're on the subject of this, I do think that people tend to believe that it's a victimless crime to part exchange a car with a fault with a dealer, like they're fair game. Now, at the end of the day, it's not a victimless crime, because you've been given a price based on the car working well, and its true trade value, and you're part exchanging it knowing there's a fault with it. By not being honest, you're intentionally making something that's currently your financial burden, on the basis of your decision. You decided to buy the car and now it needs a fix. You're making that financial burden somebody else's without them being aware of it. And I don't think that's much of a way to go through life. But it's not a victimless crime, is it? Not with the independents, because at the end of the day they're running a business and they're going to take a hit on that vehicle on the basis of you not being straight with them. And those people have got mortgages to pay and families to support, and they want to get their kids the best things. And it's exactly the same as bringing a tradesman in and then jibbing him on payment, as far as I'm concerned. Even with the big main dealers, the people that they get the hit when you part exchange a duffer without being honest about it is the salesman, because it comes out of their GP, their gross profit for the month, which they get paid their commissions on, and it means that that car could end up wiping out another car or a couple of cars they've sold, and they aren't taking home the money that they should be taking home. So it's not a victimless crime at all to part exchange with dealers. I think the assumption is it's a victimless crime because dealers stiff everybody else. But you know, we're in this situation where as a dealer you've got no comeback on anybody part exchanging a duffer. Absolutely none. But when you sell a car, you're responsible for it for 6 months. It's just totally upside down. The assumption is that the dealer is, you know, knowledgeable and he's going to catch everything. Sorry, you can't catch everything. I drove this car twice before with no problems at all. I got in this morning and drove it with no noise this morning. It's only happened when I got here. So it was entirely possible I could drive the car a couple of times without hearing this noise. And I don't have a magic mechanic that works for me for nothing, so I can't get it fixed for peanuts. You know, the cost of the fix is going to be the same as it is pretty much for anybody else. So it does wind me up a little bit that some people think it's fair game to take duffers in and part exchange them without saying anything. Again, I'm just going to say now, I'm not 100% sure that's what's happened here. They seem genuine enough. It's entirely possible the daughter didn't tell the dad that it was making this noise every now and then, and she thought it wasn't something to worry about. Of course, there's the opposite, that it started making a noise and someone looked at it and said, I know you just put, you know, you've got a dual mass flywheel on the way out there, and they're like, well, I've just paid a fortune having all this servicing work done to it, I'm not going to put any more money into it. That's entirely possible too, of course, but I'd like to think that wasn't the case. But obviously when I sell it on, so now I will advertise this as needing a dual mass flywheel. I'll probably advertise it at $2,500. That means if someone is a bit DIY-y, they can probably get it done for the cost of the kit, which I think is about 350 quid. If they're not DIY-y, they'll probably be looking at what, £600-700 to have it done, and they'll still be well under what the car's true value is. They'll be into the car for sort of 3.2, and it's probably a 4K car, I'd say. Whether it will sell like that or not, I don't know. I'm just going to have to put it up and see, but obviously I'll give it a good clean first. Well, that's put an added damper on my day, isn't it? Better find something more constructive to do with myself. Blimmin' heck. We do this for a living, eh? So as you know guys, it's been an expensive time for me setting up the new units, and I've been saying on a lot of my videos I've got to buy a lot of new tools. And one of the people viewing the videos is Callum from Toolmania, and he sent me a message saying, James, look, if you're looking for tools, I don't mind sending you out a few tools, just give us a shout out on the channel and a link to our products, and I don't mind helping you out with a few tools. So he sent me a box of bits and bobs that I needed at the moment. I checked out Toolmania. They've got a eBay store, and actually the prices are really, really good. I'll put a link in the description below for their page on their shop on eBay. But yeah, so Callum got in touch and said, you know, yeah, happy to help out if you want. So I ordered a number of bits and bobs off him, and we'll have a little look what we've got here. So first of all, my spring compressors that I really need. Really badly needed some spring compressors if I'm going to start doing more work myself. I didn't have any at the moment, and I know they're quite an important safety thing, so I've got some spring compressors there. What else have we got? Oh yeah, I saw this tool as well. I haven't seen this before. A Ratchet Piston Caliper spreader. I have to admit, I'm very guilty of just getting a pry bar in and levering against the caliper itself, and I wanted to stop doing that. So I saw this on the Toolmania page, which is a caliper spreader. I thought I'd give that a go. When I use these tools, I will give you guys a bit of feedback on them. And then I needed some drill bits, which obviously you use a lot of those. I have a habit of blunting my drill bits, so if you've got any tips on not blunting them, let me know. But I needed some drill bits to start. Like I say, I've got a few of those kicking around. Some wire strippers, so I can do the inevitable Fiat 500 and Giulietta rear light ones myself and save a bit of money, because it is just a bit of wire. And I think David Mule always kicks my ass if I'm lazy, and he said it's just half hour's work, mate, which it probably is, because I can actually get the wiring looms myself, but I didn't have one of those. What's this one here? Like I said, when I had a look at Callum's page on Toolmania, the prices, flipping out, they surprised me. They're really good value for money. Oh yeah, some long nose pliers for those times you drop stuff down inside the car. Obviously I borrowed a lot of Stuart's tools when I was over at Alfa Ragazzi, but there's a lot of stuff I didn't have for myself that I needed. I forgot what this is. Oh yeah, this is a set of measuring jugs with spouts. I've been using the kettle to fill up the washer fluid bottles and stuff like that, so I needed a few of these. Hold on a sec, I'll open it up. This is what I needed. I've got a big jug from a coolant and a smaller jug from a washer fluid. So yeah, some basic stuff. Like I say, all of this, I think most of this is like less than 20 quid, I think, if I remember rightly. We'll hop on and have a quick look. So here's Callum's eBay shop, Toolmania UK. And as I said, as you scroll through and look, pretty much everything is under £20, including free postage. Really good value for money. I mean, look at these stud extractors that I bought a set of these recently. I paid a hell of a lot more than that for them. Does look really good value for money. So if you are looking for tools, go and check out Callum's shop there, Toolmania UK. Massive thanks to Callum for supporting the channel, supporting me, helping me out with those tools. Really, really appreciated. Well, that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. As always, really massively appreciated. Please do have a look below and check to see if you're subscribed. If you've enjoyed it, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and get notifications for future videos. There'll be more very, very soon. Catch you later. Now, we didn't expect that result, did we? And after talking about a dodgy deal, as it turned out that she's the one who hasn't really stuck to her end of the bargain.